Hi, I'm Vincent, and in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how you can find thousands of leads on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So you will see the best filters to use when you want to identify decision makers, and I will show you in details how to use properly some filters. Then I will show you how to target leads based on a company. For example, if the company is growing, meaning they have money. And finally, I will show you how you can extract leads from LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get all the information you need, like the first name, last name, company name, the LinkedIn URL, and of course, the verified emails of your leads. So basically, if you follow this video, you will be able to create a list of leads perfectly match your ideal customers. So let's start. Alright, so as you can see, I'm currently on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. And now the first thing I want to show you is how to find leads on LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So for that, you click on lead filters. And here on the left, you have all the filters you can use to identify people. And here on the right, you will get your results, so your leads. So for example, here, if I type in current job title CEO, you see my results. And here you have the number of results you have for your search. So in my case here, if I want to target people who are just CEO in the world, I have a bit more than 4 million results. Now that you know how LinkedIn Sales Navigator works, I want to show you 4 filters I recommend to use when you want to identify decision makers. And I will show you some filters that I strongly not recommend to use. So let's start with the 4 filters I recommend to use. And the first one is company headcount. So if you click here, you can select a company size. And here, for example, if you want to target small companies, you can select 11 to 50 people. And here on the right, I have all the people in the world who are currently working in a company with a headcount between 11 to 50 people. So it's interesting when you want to target small companies, SMBs, or even if you want to target big companies. So for example, if you want to target big companies with at least 1,000 employees in it, you can do that. So between 1,000 to 5,000, 5,000 to 10,000, and more than 10,000. And on the right, I have all the people in the world working in big companies. So this filter, company headcount, is very useful. Now let's move on to the next one. And you have this one, current job title. It's probably one of the most important filters. And if I click on the plus, here you can write a specific job title you want to target. So let's say you want to target people who are head of sales. So you type head of sales. And then here you see that we have some suggestions. So we have head of sales marketing, head of global sales, and many other job titles. But let's click on this one. So I click on include. And here you see head of sales, global head of sales, head of sales. Here, first problem, we have an associate. Here, head sales witch, so not really head of sales. And here we have someone who is B2B sales speaker, so not head of sales. So you see that we have some problems. And now if you want to get better results, what I recommend to do is to write the job title you want to target within quotes. So if you want to target people who are head of sales, this time you type quotes, then you type head of sales, quotes, and here you don't click on include here, but instead you press enter on your keyboard like this. And by doing that, you will improve a lot your results. So if you have just one thing to remember for this current job title filter, so type the job title you want to target within quotes and you will get better results. Now, I forgot to tell you that, of course, you can target multiple job titles. For example, you can target people who are head of marketing within quotes, of course. And now if we check our results, we have people who are head of marketing, head of sales and marketing, marketing, head of sales, head of marketing, head of sales, and so on. So here with this search, we target people who are head of sales or head of marketing. Now, just before I show you the next filter I recommend to use, I want to show you two filters that I don't recommend to use. The first one is function. So here, let's say, for example, that you want to target people who are into sales. So sales, I click on include. And here you see that we have someone who is account manager. Perfect, because it's related to sales. But here, first good example, we have someone who is a founder. Then here we have special advisor. Here we have CEO. Here we have a very good example, coach and mentor in mindset. So not very into sales. So that's why I don't recommend you to use this filter. And it's the same for seniority level. It doesn't work properly, so avoid these two filters. Now let's move on to the next one. And here, geography. This one is very useful. So here, what you can target is where the lead is based and not the company. So for example, you can say that you want to target people in the US, like this. And if we check our results, we have New York, US, 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 US. So that's perfect. Now, what you can do with this filter is to narrow down your search to only get, for example, people in a specific city. So in my case, I'm in Paris. And if I want, I can target people in Paris. So I click on include. And now here I have people who are based in Paris. Now, the next filter I strongly not recommend to use is this one, industry. And why? So let's take an example, and let's say that we want to target companies in the marketing services. So marketing services, I click on include, and let's check our results. So if we check the industry of these companies, yeah, the first one is retail. Now let's check this example, hospitals and healthcare. Here we have technology, information, and internet. So not really marketing services. And why it doesn't work? It's because this filter industry focuses on the industry of the lead and not the company. So here we have someone who is VP brand marketing, field marketing manager, VP of growth, head of marketing, and so on. So when you type an industry here, you target the industry of the lead, but not the company where the lead is. So that's why it's a big problem. And don't worry, I will show you in a few minutes how you can target companies based in a specific industry. And of course, I will show you how you can find decision makers in these companies. So my advice, if you want to build a clean list of leads, is to avoid this filter industry in the lead filters. Finally, the last filter I recommend to use, especially if you want to send LinkedIn messages, is this one, posted on LinkedIn, because when you target people who post on LinkedIn, you know they are active online and you will get a better reply rate when you reach out to these people on LinkedIn. All right, so now that you know how to use the best filters on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, I want to show you how to save a search, how to create a lead list, and then I will show you how to export your leads from LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and at the end, get your leads into a CSV file with the verified emails. So let's start by saving your search. Here on the left, you see that I've made a search where I want to target people who are head of sales in the US. The company headcount is between 500 to 1,000 people. And I want to target people who have posted on LinkedIn recently. Now, if you want to save your search, very easy. You just need to click here. And now you see that my search is saved. Now, if you want to see your search, what you can do is to click here in Saved Searches. And here you have the list of all your saved searches. So what's very interesting with this feature is that you have a notification when new people match your filters. For example, I've made this search a few days ago, And here, from this time, I have 71 new people who match my filters. So if I click here, you have on the left the filters that I've used. And here I have the list of the new leads who match my filters. So it's an easy way to find new leads. Now let's go back to our previous search. So for that, I click on Save Searches, and then it's this one. So you see I have my filters on the left, so that's perfect. And now if you want to create a lead list on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, you can do that. And for that, what you need to do is to click here on Select All, then Save to List, Create New List. Here you can give a name for your list. So let's say Head of Sales posted on LinkedIn, then Create and Save. And now here you see that our leads are in my list. Now what we need to do is to go on the page number 2 and add these leads into my list. So for that, select all, save to list, and it's this one, Head of Sales posted on LinkedIn. So the main drawback of this feature is that you can only add your leads by 25. So you can't say, okay, I have these 500 leads and I want to select them all in just one click to add them into your new list, because you have to add your leads 25 by 25. So let's go on the page number 3, select all, save to list, this one, and let's do it one more time. So page number 4, select all, save to list, and this one. Okay, now if you want to see your list of leads, you just need to go here on leads. Here you have all your lead lists. So you see that I've already created some lead lists. Here you see the list I've just created with 100 leads, and here you have the last time updated. So let's click on the list, and here you have the details of your list, and basically you have all your leads. So you have the name, the company, geography. Here, if you want, you can write a note, for example, follow up. Then we click on done, and here you see the note, outreach activity, and that added. So what's interesting with this feature is that you have the list of the people who changed their jobs in the past 90 days. So always useful to target these people. And you have the list of the people who posted on LinkedIn recently. And now the next step, if you want to export these people, is to go here in lead filters. And here you scroll a little bit, and here you have lead list. So we select the list we've just created. So Head of Sales, posted on LinkedIn, this one. And here you have all the people who are in my list, Head of Sales, posted on LinkedIn. Then, of course, if you want, you can add some more filters. And then the last thing I want to show you is how you can export leads from LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So if you want to export leads from LinkedIn Sales Navigator, unfortunately, you can't do that natively. And that's why you need to use a third-party tool like Give Me Leads. So if you want to have a button like this one, Extract Leads, you can go on givemeleads.io, or you just need to click the first link in the description. Then you click on Start for free. Here, if you want, you can sign up with Google, or you can create your free account with your email and password. The next step is to install the Chrome extension. So for that, very easy, add to Chrome and then add extension. And once you install the Chrome extension, you will get this button, Extract Leads. And once you are ready to export these people, you just need to click on Extract Leads. So you will be redirected to your Give Me Leads account. Here you can give the number of people you want to export. So let's say for this tutorial, 100. Just below, you can say that you want the emails of these people. And then once you want to export your leads, you just need to click on this button. And now we just need to wait a little bit. But just before, I will rename my export. So Head of Sales posted on LinkedIn. And now I just need to wait a few minutes. All right, so after 37 seconds, my export is done. And now if I want to see my list of leads, very easy, I click on Download CSV. So here is my list of leads. Now if I scroll, you see that I have 100 leads, which is perfect. Now on top, you see that you have all the information you need to reach out to these people. So you have the first name, last name, LinkedIn URL. So always useful if you want to reach out to these people on LinkedIn. You have the emails of your leads. So same, perfect for sending cold emails. You have the job title, location, and actually you have much more information. For example, you have the company name, company website. So always useful if you want to personalize your messages using AI, company location, and company industry. Now, when you export your leads with Give Me Leads, we clean the data for you. So for the first name, last name, and company name, you don't have any problems with capital letters or with rocket emoji in the first name. So when you are in your favorite outreach tool and you type hi first name like this, so you don't want to have hi Vincent with rocket emoji at the end, but instead you want a clean data like this, so hi Vincent. So with this feature, you don't need to waste your time to manually clean the data because we do it for you, and you can safely say hi first name in your cold email because at the end the data is clean. Alright, so now that you know how to export leads from LinkedIn Sales Navigator into a CSV file, I want to show you how you can identify decision makers working in a company with a specific industry. So for that, let's go back on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and this time we go here in Account. So here on the left, we have filters for companies. For example, we can say headquarters location in the US, and this time you will see on the right that I no longer have people, but I have companies. So what I want to show you is how to use these filters to target specific companies, and then I will show you how you can identify decision makers in these companies. So let's start by playing with some filters. So here, for example, we can say that we want to target a specific company headcount growth. So this filter is very useful because you can say, okay, I want a headcount growth with a minimum of 10%. And why it's a good filter? It's because you target companies that are growing. So it means that they have money. Then if you want, you can target a headquarter location. So let's say in the US. And here just below, you have the filter industry. And this one, you can use it because here you target the industry of the company. So let's say that we want to target the industry hardware, computer hardware. Perfect. And now what's very interesting is that we have companies in the computer hardware industry. Then you have department headcount. So for example, if you sell, I don't know, a sales software, you want to make sure that a company has some sales. So for example, you want a minimum of 3 sales, and you can do that with this filter, department headcount. So by using this filter, we know that these companies have at least 3 employees working in the sales department. So this one, very useful. And now the last filter I want to show you is this one, job opportunities. And here you can say that you want to target companies that are hiring on LinkedIn. And why it's a good filter? It's because it means that the company is growing, so it's always a good filter to use. Then the next step, if you want to identify decision makers in these companies, is to add them into a list. So for that, select tool, save to list. And this time, save to list, create new list. So this time we add these companies into an account list. So it's not a lead list, but an account list. So list name, hardware, companies, create and save. And here you see that these companies are in my list. Now, if you want to use this account list, we need to go here in lead. Then we scroll, and here you see the filter account list. So my list is hardware companies, include. And here on the right, you have all the people who are working in these companies in my list, hardware companies. Then the next step, if you want to identify decision makers, is to use some more filters. And the one I recommend to use, of course, is this one, current job title. So let's say that you want to target people who are head of sales, and then sales manager. So of course, within quotes. And here you see on the right, people who are head of sales or sales manager in my account list, hardware companies. So sales manager, sales manager, sales manager, it's perfect. And if we check the companies, so this one, computer hardware. So the industry is perfect. Let's check this one, same computer hardware. And the last one, let's say this one. So same here, computer hardware. So this is how you can target decision makers working in a specific industry. And then, of course, the next step, if you want to export these people, is to click here on extract leads. Then I click on export leads, and now I just need to wait a little bit. All right, so my export is done. Let's click on download CSV. All right, so here is my list of leads. And this time I want to show you the company industry. So it's this one, company industry. And you see that we only have computer hardware. So that's perfect. So this is exactly the process you can follow to find thousands of leads for your business. Now, if you want to easily export your leads from a LinkedIn Sales Navigator into a CSV file, you can try for free Give Me Leads. And so for that, you have the link in the description. And now, if you want to see step-by-step how to send cold emails to your leads, I've made a complete tutorial on how to use Instantly.ai. So if you want to see this video, you can click somewhere on the screen. It was Vincent. I wish you a nice day, and I see you in the next video. Bye-bye.